Are you eating right as an athlete, or is your body secretly suffering? Most people associate athletes with a particular lifestyle. In this context of this video, an athlete refers to anyone who's training for a sport, whatever that sport may be. Now, also, athletes are often referred to as living a healthy lifestyle. Now, athletes, unlike non-active sedentary people, have to be cautious and sometimes even meticulous about their nutrition. Nutrition, in fact, is so important for athletes that people like LeBron James, the 37-year-old Lakers forward, have their own nutritionist, and Elena Height, Olympic snowboarder and X Games gold medalist, said, "My nutrition taught me that fueling for exercise, training, and competition is very different than fueling for life." So why is nutrition important for athletes? In simple terms, nutrition refers to the way in which food affects our health. Now, good nutrition is beneficial to everyone universally, and it's hard to really argue with that, right? Now, the main source of nutrition for us as humans and other animals is through food. Now, food has macronutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, which the body processes those to give us energy. Although food is the primary source of such nutrients, athletes can also benefit from performance supplements. Now, the conversion of macronutrients to energy takes place through a complex process known as energy production, which can be an entirely different topic on our own that we're not going to get into. Our bodies, they require a constant supply of energy to fuel our working organs, including the brain, the heart, the lungs, your muscles. Now, generally, the more energy you use, the more food, the more macronutrients your body will need to supply you with energy. Among other nutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and protein can all be used as fuels, although the body does not use them equally. Without turning this video into an energy production lesson, it's important to understand that the chemical energy produced from the food fuel is stored as adenosine triphosphate, ATP, and then the ATP then transfers this energy to energy requiring physiological functions like muscle contraction during exercise, and some of that's going to perform the work, and then some of it's converted to heat. Now, knowledge of this process is essential because at its core, it explains why the nutritional needs for athletes differ from non-athletes. When you're at rest, demand for ATP in the body is low. However, during sports and exercise, any sort of training, it can increase this demand as much as 1,000-fold. So there's a coordinated metabolic response by the energy systems to replenish those ATP levels. Now, you can replenish your ATP, your energy levels, by adding macronutrients into your system. So that's by eating food. Now, consequently, nutrition, the food that you eat, is either used for energy, converted to heat, or it's going to be stored as fat. Now, because we're all different, there is no single diet that meets the needs of all athletes at all times for different types of sports, but the physiological advantage in one sport may be a limiting factor to another. For example, muscle mass may give you an advantage in bodybuilding, but it will definitely slow down a runner if they're out running uphill or during a marathon, because that additional weight decreases their power to weight ratio. Now, in addition to general good nutrition recommendations, athletes have to adopt a diet to complement their training and leverage it to improve performance, reduce injury risk, and promote recovery. In many cases, a diet may not meet the nutritional needs of your athletic activity, so you can benefit from some sort of performance supplement, such as like hydration, SOSH, which can help endurance, energy, hydration, and even recovery. Now, this book identifies the goals of an optimal training diet as providing caloric and nutrient requirements, incorporating nutritional practices that promote good health, achieving and maintaining optimal body composition and competition weight. Unlike non-athletes, depending on the intensity, duration, and frequency of exercise, in general, athletes should consume between 6 to 10 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight per day. Now, for a deeper dive on how to use carbs as a super fuel for recovery, check out that video right up there. Now, it's critical that athletes consume appropriate intakes of energy, macro and micronutrients for training and competition to have the appropriate energy levels and substrate availability for the exercise that they undertake and to enable tissue growth and repair. Now, this is something non-athletes don't really need to prioritize. Now, nutritional needs of athletes compared to non-athletes, because of our understanding of the energy production systems and the effect it has, we are able to develop nutritional diets and supplements for different population groups, including the athletes. Now, when done right, this can have various benefits to athletes. As validated by the International Olympic Committee and its medical commission, specialized nutrition has the potential to elevate the game of athletes. Well-chosen eating practices have much to offer the athlete. promoting recovery from training sessions, physiological adaptations, training variations of pre-competition, competition fuel and fluid intake, determine the body's responses, fuel to train and perform at the elite level, optimum gains from the training programs themselves, enhanced recovery between workouts and between events, achievement and maintenance of an ideal body mass and physique, benefits from the many health promoting components of food. And food can even help reduce risk of injury, overtraining fatigue, and even illness.